Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk, back another video day, and today I'm going to be doing my Houston Texans draft preview. The 2025 draft is starting tonight in about 2.5 hours, and the Houston Texans, probably won't draft until the end of the night at pick 25, but there is a good chance the Texans trade up with them trying to move up in the first round to get offensive line help, and we'll see if that does happen tonight. But we're going to be previewing this draft where, what picks the Texans have. They just made a trade down with the Browns, but I see it as a trade up because the Texans ended up trading one pick that they have this weekend in this week's draft and got back 3. And the second pick that they sent away in this trade was a pick that's not going to be used until 2027. And the way I see this trade with the Texans trading one pick that will be selected this weekend for 3 that will be, that's a way of the Houston Texans trying to prepare for a trade up by getting more draft picks, getting one more draft pick than they had before, and getting 2 more draft picks that they didn't have this weekend, because the Texans before this trade had 7 draft picks, had 7 draft picks for this weekend. That goes to 8 with the trade. That goes to 9 with the trade. So let's get into it. So the Texans traded 166 that they traded and got back and a 2027 fifth rounder and got back 179, 215, and 255. The 179 is a third rounder, and the 215 and 255 are 6 and 7. So Texans got back a 5, a 6, and a 7 for 2 5s. One of those 5s is not going to be selected until 2027, which isn't even next year's draft. So before the trade, here were the Houston Texans draft picks. Pick 25 in the first round, second round, pick 58, third round, 2 picks. One is because of the Tunsil trade, pick 79 and pick 89. No picks in the fourth round. Pick in round 5, pick 166, but that is going to the Browns. So now in the fifth round, instead of pick 166, there is pick 179. And then sixth round, the Houston Texans did not have any sixth round draft picks until the trade with the Cleveland Browns. Now they do, having pick 215. And get ready for this with the seventh round. The Texans have now 3 seventh round picks, I believe. The Texans have 236 and 241, which are picks they already had, and now they have 255. So those are the Texans draft picks for this year's draft. We'll see if a trade-up happens, that's going to go down, because you're going to have to give up a lot of draft picks to trade up, especially if they're going to go try and get Kelvin Banks. We'll see what happens there. But what are things the Texans need to eye in this draft? I think at some point in the second or third round, you got to eye getting a wide receiver. You got to look to help the offensive line a lot in this draft. Defensively, you don't have as much as defensive issues, but at some point, I think in this draft, you'd like to see the Texans add something with the secondary. I know the secondary is really strong, but you could add a little bit to there. I don't know. And the Texans, here's another reason why I say adding to the secondary is something Nick Cassera has done really well in his time with the Texans is drafting prospects. Getting guys that are corners or safeties. He's done a really good job, with drafting those type of guys in the last couple years, in the last couple drafts with some of the guys they get, especially last year with Kamari Lassiter and Kalen Bullock and what they did. So I wouldn't mind the Texans adding more youngsters to this secondary with how good they've been drafting them. So that's why I suggested that. But offensively, I think you look at a wide receiver or 2, but most likely 1, multiple offensive linemen selected in this draft. Defensively, I think here's one thing I would say the Texans need to look at and add in this draft to the defensive line. A defensive tackle would be nice for this Houston Texans team to add in this draft. And if there are anything I missed, please let me know in the comment section what you want to see the Texans add in this draft. That's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace out. Go Texans.